What's going on, Hyperdrivers? You know, we may not be getting a new Star Wars TV show every month, but that doesn't mean that the stories have to stop. Right now, there are all new Star Wars stories happening every month in the comics. So that's why I'm getting into Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, issue number 1, The Bad Batch, Rogue Agents. And let's find out if this is a filler or an episode of the Clone Wars we never got. This issue was published by Dark Horse, written by Michael Moresi. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that name right. Art by Reese Hannigan, inks by Elisabetta D'Amico, and colors by Michael Attia. And there were 3 covers that you could have gotten. The one that I have in front of me is the main cover by Valeria Favoccia. There was a variant by Riley Rossmo, which honestly is my favorite of them all, and a high impact cover by Hannigan himself. But what really sold me on this one was the cover with the Bad Batch fighting the Rancor. I had to know what that was all about. But before I move ahead, I'm giving you guys a spoiler warning because I'm about to get into it. If you want to just hear my final verdict, use the timestamp below and you can skip ahead. Otherwise, let's jump into it. The story takes place during the Clone Wars, well before the events of the Bad Batch TV series. Tech is still alive and Echo hasn't joined the squad yet. So it's early Clone Force 99. We open with a Separatist scientist, Dr. Laszlo, testing some kind of invention. And it's going horribly wrong. There's a massive explosion and it's a total disaster. Cut to 2 days later and the Bad Batch are doing what they do best, blasting clankers. They're hunting down Dr. Laszlo when Crosshair and Tech pick up something on the scanners. But it's not droids, it's clones. Not just any clones, these guys are still rocking Phase 1 armor. And I gotta say, seeing the clones in the Phase 1 armor again, that hit. It reminded me so much of the Tartakovsky Clone Wars series, so I'm really digging that they're bringing that back. The squad introduces themselves. Sergeant Cole is the one in red, Charger's in blue, Hank's in green, and Rice is in white. And immediately, something feels off. They claim that they're on the same mission as Clone Force 99, and Hunter knows that something is not normal. The Republic doesn't just double assign elite teams without saying something. That kind of redundancy, it just doesn't happen. So already there's tension. Crosshair finds a box that clearly held 2 keys. Sergeant Cole questions how he knows this, and Crosshair points out that it matches the key on Cole's belt. And that's the moment I really knew that something was off. These guys were absolutely shady. Clones are usually tight with each other. There's a brotherhood amongst them, and Cole doesn't give off that energy. Still, they all agree to search the facility together, but Hunter isn't buying it. He quickly sends Tech back to the Marauder to dig into who these guys really are. While they're back on Cole's ship trying to figure out what Dr. Laszlo created that needs 2 keys, Tech gets the answer. He quickly alerts Hunter, but it's too late. Cole orders his squad to shove the Bad Batch into a massive holding cell and seals them inside. Then we hear it, or at least read it. That heavy mechanical click. The door behind them unlocks and we get the splash page reveal of a mighty Rancor. And I'm not gonna lie, as I'm seeing it unfold, it reminds me completely of the scene in Return of the Jedi where Luke encounters the Rancor and I could hear that music playing in the background. The Bad Batch tries to subdue the Rancor, but the thing's hide is too thick. Blasters aren't doing much. And then Wrecker has an idea. And we all know from the TV show, that's usually not a good thing. His solution? Blow a hole in the hull of the ship so they get sucked out into space and escape the Rancor. Completely insane and completely Wrecker. It works, but Cole makes a choice. Instead of recapturing them, he lets them go, because now the Bad Batch will lead them to the second key. Later, we find that Tech picks them up in the Marauder and confirms everything. This rogue squad isn't hunting Dr. Laszlo for the Republic, they're hunting them for the Separatist. And that's where this issue ends. I actually enjoyed this story. Michael Moresi delivers a really fun side mission quest for the Bad Batch. Each one of the characters I felt kept their voice. It hadn't sounded like them. I could actually hear D. Bradley Baker speaking as I'm reading the different lines of the Bad Batch, so that was really cool. Equally, I really enjoyed the art as well. It was very dynamic, very fun and punchy, and it just gave the Clone Wars vibe with a little more detail that we would expect to see from a comic book. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't setting up for a galaxy-shifting story. It's not rewriting canon, but it's not what it's trying to do. This felt like a lost Clone Wars side mission, the kind of episode that builds up that team dynamic and reminds us why we love these characters so much. I think that's where this story really excels. The dialogue feels authentic, the personalities are intact, and I could literally hear D. Bradley Baker while I was reading it. And I think that's where they nailed it. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Something that expands on the stories of the characters we already care about. And something that gives me the Star Wars feels, right? So stay tuned for Chapter 2. That drops on March 4th. And if you like these comic book covers, these reads, and these reviews, make sure you're subscribed, because I'll be doing more of these. And until next time, may the Force be with you.